The sound of rolling wheels against hardwood floors stopped me cold in the doorway. Not luggage wheels. These were lighter, familiar. The distinct scrape of my daughter's pink princess suitcase, the one we bought for our Disney trip last summer. "What are you doing?" I asked, my voice echoing through our suddenly strange-feeling home. Ryan stood in Lily's bedroom doorway, his shoulders tense beneath his faded Stanford sweatshirt. "What needs to be done?" he said, not turning to face me. He kept packing, methodically folding Lily's favorite unicorn pajamas into the small case. "I'm Gabby, and until 30 seconds ago, I thought I was having a pretty good day. I'd successfully completed a complicated root canal, signed 2 new patients, and even managed to leave the office early enough to surprise Lily with her favorite mac and cheese for dinner." "Stop." I moved toward him, my heels clicking against the floor like a metronome counting down to disaster. "Ryan, whatever this is me accepting reality." He finally turned, and the hollow look in his eyes made my stomach clench. "We both know it's been coming." "Where's Lily?" "At my mother's. I asked her to watch her for a few hours." The room spun slightly. Martha! Of course she'd help him with this. She'd never approved of my career ambitions, always hinting that a proper mother would spend less time at the office and more time at home. "You can't just take her," I said, gripping the doorframe. "We need to talk about this." "Talk?" He laughed, but it wasn't the warm sound I'd fallen in love with 12 years ago. "That's rich, coming from you. When was the last time we really talked, Gaby? Between your patients and your expansion plans and your constant meetings?" "That's not fair. I'm building something for our future." "Our future?" He shoved a stack of folded clothes into the suitcase. "There is no our future anymore. You built your castle, and there's no room in it for me. Because you stopped trying." The words burst out before I could stop them. 6 months without even looking for a job, Ryan. 6 months of gaming and pretending everything's fine while I carry all the weight. His face darkened. "You think I'm not trying? You think I enjoy watching my wife become the sole provider while I send out resume after resume? Do you know what it's like to be told you're overqualified, or too expensive, or too old? Then take something below your pay grade. Something temporary, anything. Like you'd respect that." He zipped the suitcase with finality. "You barely respect me now." The truth in his words stung, but I pushed past it. "Where are you planning to go?" "My mother offered her guest room until I figure things out." He wouldn't meet my eyes. "Lily will have her own space there. It'll be good for her to have a more stable environment." "Stable?" I stepped closer, anger rising like bile in my throat. "You're ripping her away from her home, her school, her friends." "I'm giving her a chance to have at least one parent fully present in her life." The cruelty of it knocked the wind from my lungs. I watched him gather the suitcase, along with a backpack I hadn't noticed before. As he moved past me, I caught his arm. "Ryan, please, we can figure this out. We can get counseling, adjust my hours, something." For a moment, something flickered in his eyes. Doubt, maybe regret. Then it hardened into resolve. "It's too late," he said quietly. "I've already accepted a job offer in Phoenix. Mother's coming with us. Fresh start." The world tilted sideways. Phoenix, 2 states away. My 5-year-old daughter, my reason for everything, would be 2 states away. "You can't," I whispered. "I won't let you." He pulled his arm free. "Check your email. My lawyer sent the custody papers an hour ago." As he walked away, wheels rolling behind him like distant thunder, I stood frozen in my daughter's half-empty room. The space felt wrong, violated. On her desk sat the father-daughter picture she'd drawn last week, stick figures holding hands under a crayon sun. I picked up my phone with trembling fingers, opened my email. There it was, the formal legal document that would tear my world apart. Something dark and cold settled in my chest, displacing the shock and pain. If Ryan wanted war, he'd get one. But not the kind he was expecting, not even close. 3 days of unanswered calls, and now Ryan's number was disconnected. I sat in my office, staring at the phone like it might suddenly offer answers. The morning sun cast shadows through the Venetian blinds, striping my desk with bars of light. "Your 9 o'clock is here," Samantha said, poking her head in. She took one look at my face and stepped inside, closing the door. Still nothing? He's ghosting me. I set the phone down before I could throw it. My own husband is ghosting me while his mother has my daughter. Have you talked to a lawyer yet? Meeting one this afternoon. I straightened the papers on my desk, needing to control something, anything. But that's hours away, and I can't even talk to Lily. Samantha perched on the edge of my desk, her expression serious. You need to focus on what you can control right now. The practice needs you present. Your patients need you focused. How can I focus when? Because you have to. Her voice was gentle but firm. Ryan's trying to prove you're not reliable. Don't give him ammunition. The truth in her words stung. I nodded, took a deep breath, and reached for my white coat. Wait, Samantha said. There's something else you should know. Derek called the office earlier, asking for you. I froze. Ryan's friend Derek? He wants to meet, says it's important. My heart picked up speed. Derek had been Ryan's closest friend since college, the best man at our wedding. If anyone knew what Ryan was planning. Set it up, I said. Tonight, after my last patient. The day crawled by in a blur of routine procedures and forced smiles. Every time my phone buzzed, hope surged, only to crash when it wasn't Ryan or Martha, finally letting me speak to Lily. Derek was waiting in the parking lot when I finished my last appointment. He looked uncomfortable, shifting his weight from foot to foot. Thanks for meeting me, he said, not quite meeting my eyes. Just tell me what's going on, Derek. He glanced around the empty lot. Not here. Can we grab a coffee? 20 minutes later, we sat in a corner booth at the local diner. Untouched coffees growing cold between us. Ryan's not thinking straight, Derek said finally. He's been different lately, paranoid, talking about starting over completely. Different how? He's convinced you're trying to push him out, make him look bad. Says you've been gathering evidence against him, planning to take everything. I almost laughed. I've been trying to save our marriage. Have you? His question was quiet but pointed. Because from where he's sitting, you've been building your empire while he drowns. The second practice location, the new equipment, the staff expansion, all while he can't find work. That's not fair. I offered to help him start his own business, update his certifications, which only made him feel worse. Derek leaned forward. Look, I'm not taking sides here, but you need to know, he's liquidating assets, bank accounts, investments, everything he can access. The room tilted slightly. He can't do that. Those are joint accounts. He already has. Derek pulled out his phone, showed me a series of texts. Ryan, asking about investment opportunities in Phoenix, property listings, school districts. He's really planning to take her, I whispered. Gabby! Derek hesitated. There's more. He's been meeting with someone, a woman. The air left my lungs in a rush. What woman? I don't know, but they meet at this little cafe downtown every Tuesday and Thursday. Very intense conversations, lots of paperwork. My mind raced. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, when Ryan was supposedly at job interviews. Why are you telling me this? Derek's expression darkened. Because what he's doing isn't right, and because... He swallowed hard. He asked me to lie if anyone asked about his whereabouts those days. I won't be part of that. I stood abruptly, throwing cash on the table. I need to go. Gabby, wait. Derek caught my arm. Whatever you're planning, be careful. Ryan's not himself lately, and Martha, she's enabling everything. I pulled free, my voice steady despite the storm building inside. Thank you for the warning, Derek, but careful isn't what Ryan needs to worry about right now. As I walked to my car, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Mommy, when are you coming to get me? Grandma says you're too busy. The screen blurred as tears filled my eyes. Then clarity came, sharp and cold as a surgical blade. Ryan wanted war? Fine. But he'd forgotten one crucial detail. I'd spent years learning exactly where to cut to cause the most damage. The bank statement glowed on my laptop screen like a confession. 6 months of transactions, each one a betrayal in neat digital rows. Gaming subscriptions, virtual currency purchases, donations to online streamers. Thousands of dollars hemorrhaging from our savings while Ryan claimed he couldn't afford new work clothes for interviews. My fingers trembled as I scrolled through the evidence. A notification popped up. Another transfer initiated, this time to something called Phoenix Gaming League. The front door clicked open. I didn't look up. "You're home early," Ryan said, dropping his keys in the bowl by the door. "Interesting day at the bank." My voice sounded strange, distant. "They called about unusual activity on our accounts, wanted to verify some transactions." The silence stretched like a rubber band about to snap. I heard him take 2 steps toward me, then stop. "Gabby, I can explain." $15,000. Now I looked at him. "In 6 months, while I worked overtime to cover our mortgage." He ran a hand through his hair, a nervous gesture I used to find endearing. "It's not what you think. The gaming, it's networking, professional connections. There are opportunities." "Don't." I turned the laptop toward him. "Don't you dare try to justify this. Look at these charges. Look at what you've done to our daughter's college fund." "I'll pay it back once I land this position in Phoenix." "There is no position in Phoenix, is there?" The realization hit like a physical blow. "That's why you've been meeting that woman at the cafe, planning your escape with our money." His face went slack with surprise, then hardened. "You've been having me followed?" "Friends talk, Ryan. Maybe you should choose yours more carefully." He laughed, a harsh sound that scraped against my nerves. "That's rich, coming from you. How many dinner dates with your suppliers have you had this month? How many networking events that run late into the night?" "Don't deflect. This isn't about my work. This is about you stealing from our family." "Stealing?" He stepped closer, looming over my desk. "Half of that money is mine. I earned it during the good years, while you were still building your precious practice. And now you're gambling it away on virtual weapons and fake friends. They're more real than anything in this house." The words exploded from him. "At least they see me. They value what I contribute. When's the last time you asked about my day without checking your phone? When's the last time you looked at me without disappointment in your eyes?" Something inside me cracked. "When's the last time you gave me anything but disappointment to look at?" The moment the words left my mouth, I knew we'd crossed a line we couldn't uncross. Ryan's face went white, then red. "I want access to all the accounts restored," I said into the deadly silence. "Now." "Or what?" "Or I call the police, report fraud, show them exactly where their investigation should start." He smiled then, a cold expression I'd never seen before. "Go ahead. Show them how you've been moving money between accounts to avoid taxes. Show them the cash payments you've been taking from certain patients. I've been watching too, Gabby. I know where all the bodies are buried." My blood turned to ice. Those arrangements were completely legal, carefully structured by my accountant. But the implication alone, if he went public. "You wouldn't dare." "Try me." He turned toward the door, then paused. "Oh, and Lily loved her first day at her new school. Martha found a wonderful private academy in Phoenix, already paid the deposit, with our joint funds, of course." The laptop crashed to the floor as I stood. "You enrolled her without my consent? Consider it done with the same consideration you showed when making all your business decisions." He reached for the door. "By the way, I've frozen the main accounts. You'll need my signature to access anything over $500. Enjoy running your empire on petty cash." After he left, I sat in the growing darkness, my mind racing through options, scenarios, consequences. The practice needed that money, my patients, my staff, everything I'd built. My phone lit up with a text from Samantha. "Derek called again. Says he has more information. Important." I picked up the phone, my fingers steady now, anger crystallizing into purpose. Ryan thought he could corner me? Fine. But he'd forgotten something crucial. Cornered animals are the most dangerous. Time to show him exactly how dangerous I could be. The real estate listing mocked me from my computer screen. A 4-bedroom house in Phoenix, already marked sale pending. I recognized the bank transfer amount from our joint account. The exact amount. He's really doing it, I told Samantha, who stood behind my desk reviewing patient files. Moving our whole lives without even pretending to discuss it. What did your lawyer say? That fighting an interstate custody battle will drain every penny I have. I closed the browser window with more force than necessary. And that's assuming I can even afford to start one now that he's frozen the accounts. The intercom buzzed. Dr. Ramirez, your 3 o'clock consultation is here. Give me a minute. I reached for my white coat, but Samantha caught my arm. There's something else you need to see first. She pulled up an email on her tablet. Remember that equipment financing application you submitted last month? It was denied this morning. My stomach dropped. That's impossible. My credit is perfect. Was perfect. Someone reported suspicious activity on your accounts. The underwriters are requesting a full audit before they'll reconsider. The pieces clicked together with nauseating clarity. Ryan's smirk when he mentioned my business practices. The mysterious woman at the cafe. Not an affair, a forensic accountant. A knock at the door interrupted my spiraling thoughts. Derek entered without waiting for a response, his face grave. You need to hear this, he said, glancing at Samantha. Privately. She squeezed my shoulder and left, closing the door behind her. Ryan's meeting with the medical board tomorrow, Derek said without preamble. He's filing a complaint about your billing practices. The room tilted slightly. He can't prove anything. Everything I've done is legal. Doesn't matter. An investigation alone could suspend your license pending review. He knows it would tank your practice's value before the divorce. I gripped the edge of my desk, knuckles white. How do you know this? Because he asked me to testify about cash payments I've supposedly witnessed. Derek's expression hardened. I refused. That's when he showed me the photos. What photos? Of you, meeting with that medical supply rep last month at La Maison. The ones that make it look like more than a business dinner. My laugh came out sharp and brittle. We were discussing the equipment lease. I know that. But Ryan's got someone following you, documenting everything. He's building a case that you've been misappropriating practice funds for personal use. The irony was almost beautiful. The man who drained our savings on virtual reality was accusing me of financial misconduct. Why are you telling me this? Derek shifted uncomfortably. Because this isn't the Ryan I know. He's becoming obsessed, dangerous. And Martha's encouraging it, telling him you're trying to destroy him like... He stopped abruptly. Like what? Like his first wife did. Another piece of the puzzle I never knew existed. Ryan was married before? Briefly, in college. She left him when he lost his scholarship gambling. Martha blamed her for Ryan's breakdown afterward. Derek moved toward the door. History's repeating itself, Gabby. Only this time, he's determined to strike first. After he left, I sat motionless, mind racing through options. The practice was everything, my independence, my future, my ability to fight for Lily. If Ryan succeeded in suspending my license, even temporarily, my phone chimed with a text from an unknown number. A photo of Lily in a new school uniform, beaming at the camera. Below it, Martha's message. She's so much happier here. Don't ruin that by fighting what's best for everyone. Something snapped inside me. They thought they had me cornered? Fine. But they'd forgotten something crucial about cornered animals. We fight hardest when we have nothing left to lose. I picked up my phone and dialed Samantha's extension. Cancel my afternoon appointments. Then call that private investigator you mentioned last week. I paused, ice crystallizing in my veins. And get me everything you can on Ryan's first marriage. Everything. What are you planning? I thought of Ryan's smirk, Martha's manipulation, my daughter's smile in a stranger's uniform. I'm done playing defense. It's time to show them exactly what destroying someone really looks like. The line went quiet for a moment. Then Samantha's voice, soft but determined. I'll make the calls. I hung up and opened my laptop, fingers hovering over the keyboard. Time to start digging. After all, everyone has secrets. And I had nothing but time to uncover them all. The private investigator's file landed on my desk with a dull thud. Inside, Ryan's past unfolded like a roadmap of destruction: gambling debts from college, a restraining order from his first wife, therapy sessions for anger management, all carefully hidden beneath his perfect engineer facade. His former employer's HR file was particularly interesting, Samantha said, tapping a highlighted section. 3 complaints of aggressive behavior before his voluntary resignation. I traced the words with my finger, remembering Ryan's explanation. Corporate downsizing, nothing personal. Another lie. My phone buzzed. Derek. Ryan's meeting with the medical board moved up, tomorrow morning. He's rushing it, Samantha said, reading over my shoulder. Why? Before I could answer, Martha's number flashed on my screen. I put it on speaker. Gabby, dear. Her voice dripped honey-coated venom. I thought you should know Lily's having such trouble sleeping. She keeps asking why Mommy doesn't want to talk to her. My fingers curled into fists. You're blocking my calls. For her protection. Your instability concerns us. The board will hear all about it tomorrow. The line went dead. I looked at Samantha, understanding dawning. They're building a narrative, I said. Unstable mother, unsafe practice environment, which makes the financial audit look even worse. Samantha's face hardened. We need to move faster. I opened my laptop, pulling up Ryan's gaming profiles. Thousands of hours logged, transactions hidden in cryptocurrency, a digital escape that cost us everything. Send these to his potential employers in Phoenix, I said. Anonymous tip about addiction concerns, then leak the HR complaints to the engineering boards. That's career suicide? Exactly, Samantha hesitated. Gabby, are you sure? Once we do this, he's trying to take everything from me, my daughter, my practice, my reputation. I turned the laptop toward her. I'm just returning the favor. The office door opened. Derek stepped in, face pale. You need to see this. He held up his phone. A live stream from Ryan's gaming channel played, his avatar leading a raid, while his voice rambled to his followers. Think they can destroy you, take everything you've built. But karma's coming. Tomorrow, everything changes. The truth comes out, and someone's going to lose more than just a license. The threat hung in the air, digital evidence of his unraveling. Send it to my lawyer, I said, and the medical board. Let them see who they're really dealing with. There's more. Derek swiped to a private chat log. He's been talking to someone about offshore accounts, moving assets where they can't be traced. My laugh sounded hollow, even to my ears. Of course he is. Can't let his gambling fund get tied up in divorce court. Gabby. Samantha's voice was careful. If he's hiding assets, then proving it destroys his credibility with the board. I stood, decision crystallizing. Derek, I need every chat log, every transaction. Samantha, call our IT specialist. Time to see exactly where our money's really been going. And Martha? Derek asked. I thought of her smug voice, my daughter's manipulated confusion. Send her the file about Ryan's first marriage. Let her see what she's really protecting. They left to execute the plan, leaving me alone with the growing darkness outside my office windows. On my desk, Lily's last school photo smiled up at me. Gap-toothed, innocent, trusting. My phone chimed. An email from Ryan's gaming account, accidentally copied to our shared cloud storage. Final preparations complete. By this time tomorrow, she'll understand what it really means to lose everything. Something shifted inside me, the last thread of restraint snapping clean. I picked up my phone, dialing a number I'd hoped never to use. Remember that favor you owe me? I said when the line connected. I need everything you have on interstate custody laws, every loophole, every precedent. I paused, steel entering my voice. And I need to know how to make someone disappear. Legally. The voice on the other end was silent for a moment. You understand once we start this, there's no going back? I looked at Lily's photo again, then at the evidence of Ryan's betrayals spread across my desk. Good, I said, because going back isn't an option anymore. As I hung up, thunder rolled in the distance. Nature's applause for the storm I was about to unleash. The medical board's conference room felt like a tomb. 12 faces stared down from their elevated platform while Ryan's lawyer presented his evidence. Screenshots of my suspicious financial transactions, carefully edited to look damning. "And here," he said, pointing to a highlighted section, "we see Dr. Ramirez accepting cash payments without proper documentation." My lawyer shifted beside me, but I barely heard his objection. My eyes were fixed on Ryan, sitting across the room with Martha. He wouldn't meet my gaze, but the slight curl of his lip told me everything. The board chairman cleared his throat. "Dr. Ramirez, these allegations are serious. Do you have any response?" Before I could answer, the doors burst open. Samantha rushed in, face flushed. "I'm sorry to interrupt, but—" She thrust a tablet toward my lawyer. "You need to see this now." The room erupted in murmurs as my lawyer reviewed whatever was on the screen. His face darkened. "What is it?" I whispered. He showed me the tablet. On it, a live stream from my practice's security cameras showed police officers boxing up patient files, computers, everything. "They're executing a search warrant," he said quietly, "based on anonymous tips about insurance fraud." The room spun. Ryan's smile widened. "Given these developments," the chairman said, "we have no choice but to suspend Dr. Ramirez's license pending investigation." "You can't," my voice cracked. "My patients will be referred to other providers." The chairman's gavel fell like an executioner's axe. "Effective immediately." Outside the hearing room, Ryan caught up to me. "Karma's funny, isn't it?" he said softly. "You tried to destroy my career, so I returned the favor. But I went one better. I destroyed everything. You think this is winning?" I stepped closer, voice low. "You haven't seen destruction yet." "Actually, I have." He pulled out his phone, showed me an email. "Remember that second practice location you were planning? The loan just got denied. Seems your credit's shot." "Oh, and the custody hearing's been moved up. Judge tends to favor the parent with stable employment." Martha appeared at his elbow, all concerned motherly facade. "Lily's been asking about you. Poor dear doesn't understand why mommy's too busy with work to call." Her smile turned razor sharp. "Though I suppose that won't be a problem anymore." I watched them walk away, victory in every step. My phone buzzed. Derek calling. I answered numbly. "They're freezing your accounts," he said without preamble. "All of them, even your personal savings." "How did he—" "The fraud investigation. They're calling it asset protection." A pause. "Gabby, there's more. That woman Ryan's been meeting? She's not just a forensic accountant. She's his first wife." The floor seemed to tilt beneath my feet. "What?" "They never legally divorced. Something about paperwork errors that were never corrected, which means my marriage isn't valid." The realization hit like a physical blow. "I have no legal rights to anything." "I'm so sorry. I just found out." I hung up, stumbling to my car. Inside, I finally let the tears come. Everything I'd built, everything I'd fought for, gone in a single morning. My phone lit up with a text from Ryan. "Check your email. There's something you should see." With trembling fingers, I opened my inbox. There it was. A video attachment. I pressed play. Lily appeared on screen, sitting in what looked like her new bedroom in Phoenix. "Hi, Mommy," she said, her small voice breaking my heart. "Daddy says you're sick and need time to get better. But that's okay, because we have a new mommy now who isn't sick. I hope you feel better soon." The video ended. Another text from Ryan followed. "She'll forget you eventually. They always do." Something snapped inside me. Not like before. Not a clean break, but a shattering. In the wreckage, a single thought emerged, crystal clear and burning cold. I opened my contacts, scrolled to the number I'd been afraid to use. The one that came with warnings about lines that couldn't be uncrossed. "It's me," I said when they answered. "Remember that nuclear option we discussed? Do it. All of it. I don't care about the consequences anymore." "Are you sure? Once this starts." "He took everything from me." My voice was steady now, empty of everything but purpose. So I'm going to show him what it really means to lose it all. And this time, I'm not playing by any rules. I hung up and started my car, heading not home, but toward the airport. Ryan thought he'd won the war by taking everything I had to lose. Time to show him exactly how dangerous someone with nothing left to lose could be. The Phoenix motel room smelled of desperation and cheap air freshener. I sat in darkness, waiting. Ryan's laptop open before me. His first wife had been more than helpful once I explained everything, especially about the offshore accounts he'd hidden from both of us. My phone buzzed. Derek. He's on his way. Martha's with Lily at the house. Perfect. 15 minutes later, footsteps approached. The door clicked open, and Ryan's silhouette filled the frame. Breaking and entering now? His voice was steady, but his hand shook as he flipped on the light. That's a new low. Says the man who stole my daughter. I turned the laptop toward him. Want to explain these transfers, or should I forward them to the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit? His face drained of color. How did you? Your first wife says hello. Turns out she's quite chatty when someone finally listens. Sarah would never. Sarah's been documenting everything for years. The gambling, the hidden accounts, the fake divorce. I stood slowly. Did you really think you could run the same con twice? He moved further into the room, door swinging shut behind him. You don't understand. I had to protect myself. By destroying me? The laugh that escaped wasn't mine. Too sharp, too broken. You took everything from me. My practice, my daughter, my whole life. You were going to leave me. The words exploded from him. Just like Sarah did. I saw the signs, the second office, the new partners, building your empire while I drowned. I was building our future. You were building my cage. He slammed his fist into the wall, making me flinch. Every success, every achievement, they were all reminders of my failure. Do you know what that feels like? Actually, I do, thanks to you. Something shifted in his eyes then. Recognition, maybe even regret. Gabby. Save it. I turned the laptop to show another screen. Remember these gaming transactions? The ones you hid from me? They're about to become very public, along with proof that you committed fraud by claiming a valid marriage to get joint accounts. You'll destroy yourself, too. Your practice is already destroyed, remember? I stepped closer. But here's the difference. I can rebuild. You? Once this hits the gaming forums, your online empire crashes. All those virtual assets you bought with real money, gone. Just like that. His face contorted. You wouldn't. I already did. Check your accounts. He grabbed his phone, fingers shaking as he logged in. I watched the color drain from his face. What did you do? The same thing you did to me. I took everything. I moved toward the door. Oh, and Martha? She's getting some interesting documents right now. About both your wives, your gambling, everything. Let's see how long she keeps enabling you when she knows the whole truth. You bitch! He lunged forward, but I was ready. The door burst open. Derek and 2 police officers entered, weapons drawn. Ryan Miller? One officer stepped forward. We have some questions about those offshore accounts. As they led him away, he turned back to me. What about Lily? She needs her father. She needs the truth, which she'll get, when she's old enough to understand what you really are. Later, in the parking lot, Derek handed me a flash drive. Sarah sent more files, things that could bury him completely. I stared at the small device, feeling the weight of all it contained. Did you know? About them still being legally married? Not until recently, when I figured it out. He shook his head. I couldn't be part of his lies anymore. My phone chimed. Samantha. Martha's lawyer called. She wants to talk custody arrangements. Victory should have tasted sweeter. Instead, I felt hollow, scraped clean of everything but exhaustion. What now? Derek asked softly. I pocketed the flash drive, thinking of Lily, of the wreckage of 2 families, of the cost of revenge. Now? I watched the police car carrying Ryan disappear into the night. Now I rebuild. But first, I'm going to hug my daughter. As I walked to my car, another text came through, from Sarah. Thank you for finishing what I couldn't. Be careful though. He always finds a way back. I deleted the message without responding. She was right about one thing. This wasn't over. But next time, I'd be ready. And next time, I wouldn't be the one losing everything. The manila envelope sat unopened on my desk. Sarah's careful handwriting stark against the brown paper. Inside, the final piece of evidence that could destroy what remained of Ryan's life. Proof of his ongoing fraud against his gaming investors. My phone buzzed. Martha's text was brief. Lily's asking about her father. What should I tell her? The irony wasn't lost on me. 2 months ago, she'd been keeping my daughter from me. Now she was asking my permission. Amazing what a complete picture of your son's deceptions could do to maternal loyalty. I picked up the envelope, feeling its weight. One phone call to the FBI, and Ryan's plea deal would evaporate. He'd face the maximum sentence for financial fraud. His gaming empire exposed as a pyramid scheme that had cost people millions. The office door opened. Samantha entered with a stack of papers. The medical board cleared you, she said. Full reinstatement, with an official apology. And the practice? Insurance audit came back clean. We can reopen next week. She paused, studying my face. What's wrong? This is what we wanted. I held up the envelope. Sarah sent proof about the gaming scam, enough to add years to his sentence. Are you going to use it? The question hung in the air as Derek appeared in the doorway, his expression grim. Ryan's asking to see Lily, he said. Says he wants to explain things before he goes away. No. The word came automatically, sharp as a scalpel. Gabby. Derek stepped closer. He's lost everything. His mother, his freedom, his whole life. Maybe, like he took everything from me? I stood, moving to the window. Outside, patients were already filling the parking lot, ready for our reopening. Like he tried to destroy everything I built? And you won? Samantha's voice was gentle. Is this what winning feels like? I opened the envelope, spread the documents across my desk. Evidence of Ryan's deepest betrayals, not just of me, but of everyone who trusted him. One call would complete my revenge, ensure he'd never recover. My phone buzzed again. A video message from Lily. Mommy, can I show you my new drawing? It's our family, but Daddy's far away because he's sick like you were. When will you both get better? Something cracked inside me. Not like before, not the shattering that led to revenge, but a softer breaking, a release. I gathered the papers, walked to the shredder in the corner. The sound of destruction filled the room, but it felt different this time. Like letting go instead of tearing down. Tell Martha I'll pick up Lily after school, I said, turning to Derek. And tell Ryan, tell him I'll think about supervised visits, once he's completed therapy. That's it? Samantha asked, after everything he did? I looked around my office, at the certificates on the wall, the patient files waiting to be reviewed, the life I'd rebuilt from ashes. You know what real power is? I said quietly. It's having the ability to destroy someone completely and choosing not to. It's breaking the cycle instead of perpetuating it. He doesn't deserve your mercy, Derek said. This isn't about what he deserves. It's about who I choose to be. I picked up my white coat. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have patients waiting. As they left, I typed a response to Martha. Tell Lily that sometimes people make mistakes because they're hurting, but that doesn't mean they can't learn to be better. I sent the message, then deleted Sarah's number from my phone. Whatever happened next, it wouldn't be about revenge anymore. My first patient of the day was waiting. A young girl, nervous about her first dental visit. As I approached her with a reassuring smile, I caught my reflection in the window. I looked different somehow, stronger, but softer too. The taste of revenge had been sweet, but this feeling of choosing who I wanted to be instead of who hurt had made me. This tasted like freedom. And freedom, I was learning, was the sweetest revenge of all.